You know what I mean? Like, you want to be the person where people are going, how do we keep her? How do we keep him? Because they're really good.
But how do you get in that frame of mindset to always over-deliver for your employers? You know, sometimes give more value than they ask of you, and it sort of makes you invaluable.
Well, see, I don't think you don't have to be crazy and work stupid hours, because I think sometimes employers will exploit people as well. You know, that did you see that muffin break woman who said nobody wants to come and work for me for free anymore, like lazy young people?
Yeah, I heard, yes.
And then like the whole world went, shut up,
Yeah.
and she went, you know, when I said no one wants to come work for free, I didn't mean people should come and work for me for free. Yeah, no, that's totally what you meant, because it's exactly what you said. So there are people like that out there who I think will just ruthlessly exploit people. But I think what you have to do, what I would say to people is, get a job and just be good at your job. Like, you don't have to work 400 hours a week, because that's not good for you either. And you don't want to let yourself be exploited so that you're working crazy hours and not getting that stuff recognised. Just be really good at what you do. And if you can't do something, ask about it. And kind of just be resourceful and take initiative, so that if you're standing there and you see something he's doing, just do it. Do you know, whether it's service industry stuff or film, TV stuff, or stuff in an office or whatever? It's like, just if you see stuff, I mean, that's still stuff that I do too, right? It's like I just think, well, I'm not doing anything. How can I be useful? So if we're out filming stuff, it's like, well, what can I carry? What can I go and get? What can I do? Blah, blah, blah. Because it's like, well, don't stand like a fucking gonk. Like, do something, be useful.
Yeah, that's interesting. But do you think that, let's say, in the next 20, 30 years would have universal basic income?
I don't know, it's complicated. So there's lots of experiments running at the moment, and there's some pretty good arguments. I saw some results a little while ago. It seems like in one case employment didn't necessarily increase, but people's happiness and health and those sorts of things did. And so I think the long-term benefits of the UBI would be that it takes pressure and stress off people, and it just makes life a little bit easier. Whatever the case, if you look at what's happening in the world at the moment, we have a very unequal distribution of wealth at the moment. And so capitalism is okay. You talk to some economists, they'll say capitalism's great and it's lifted people out of poverty all over the world and they can share the graphs. And that's true. Technically, capitalism has lifted millions and millions and millions of people out of abject poverty. But it's lifted them, so if this is abject poverty, it's lifted them up to about here, like just above that. So most of the world is still living a pretty shitty life. So capitalism, it's true, has lifted people's lives a little bit. I think there are some big questions around, has it lifted them enough? Has it lifted them in a way that's fair and reflects the amount that people have put on? And, you know, even when we have people in this country who are working and still can't afford to feed their children. Like, that's fucked up. Like, how is it possible that you could be working 70 hours a week and still getting food parcels? Like, how is that a thing?
That's another big issue in New Zealand. That whole debate as well now, minimum wage. A lot of the employers I've talked to about it, they say that it will increase the cost of labour, which would mean they sometimes might have to cut labour, so less jobs. That's the economic theory. When you increase minimum wage, the amount of jobs reduces because less employers are able to employ people.
I think that's what a lot of people say.
Yeah.
But I think there's a counter narrative too, which is actually the data doesn't always bear that out. And there are plenty of people who pay the minimum wage when they could be paying people more. You know, we interviewed a woman who was working at a fast food company. I won't say which one. And she was being paid the minimum wage and couldn't afford to feed her kids or take them to the doctor and stuff. Well, like, how is that possible when you work for a great big multinational fast food chain that you can't afford to feed your kids? Like, that's kind of wrong. That's people not distributing the income from their business in a way that's kind of fair.
Well, the capitalist...
This is why young people should vote. Because if you don't, basically what you're doing is it's like, I was a quote from someone, I can't remember who it was. Someone said basically, would you let your granddad make decisions about your life and career? Like, would you say to granddad, oh, like, you can make all the decisions about what I'm doing socially and my education and the music I listen to, everything. You can decide that, granddad. No, you wouldn't.
Well, I think the big reason why, you know, young people don't vote, or, you know, even the prejudice I have about it is that I don't really think my vote counts. Like, it's just one person. You know what I mean? It's like one person in a sea of people. Like, how does, for me, it's like, I wouldn't matter anyway. Like, my vote, yeah.
Which is a very, and that's, at one level, that's true, right?
Yeah.
The economics say your vote individually doesn't count. But there is that thing about a sea change. And if young people got out and voted, then it would change the government. And it just kind of would. So, and in reality, it's like the people who are the most affected by elections are young people. Like, I'm not. I'll be dead soon. You'll be around for ages, and so I can fuck up the planet. And go, sorry. Yeah, there's plastics and there's a bunch of walruses in Alaska jumping off cliffs and stuff, and it's all a bit grim. But I'm out, so I'm gone. So good luck with that. I'm just gonna die now.